County Administrator's Report. John.
You have a written report at your seat, and attached to that written report is some information relative to a rezoning piece of property that the county owns at exit 29, primarily known as the property, or what has been termed back in the late 80s through some preliminary engineering work, Innovation Park. It's in the northeast quadrant of exit 29 interchange. During our comprehensive plan steering committee work, it came to our attention as we were having a conversation about future land use from our county planner, Ms. Mongold, that the property still was zoned AR. And in order for any development to occur at that property, the classification of zoning would need to be changed to M1. So what I'd like to do is, and you have quite a bit of information attached to the county administrator report that shows the current zoning, shows potential lot layout for the park relative to some preliminary engineering work that was previously done. You have code sections from the Virginia Code that outline some of the process and procedures, and then you also have the county code section that describes rezoning the properties and the description of agricultural district and M1 district. What I would like to do is over the course of the next month allow you to review that information, have questions, we can have a dialogue about that, and then at your June or July meeting have a resolution prepared for you to consider that would essentially authorize me to begin the same rezoning process that any person would have to go through in Alleghany County that owned a piece of property to have it zoned M1. There's a lot of information in here. There's a lot of zoning classification descriptions that need to be considered and discussed and understood. So I'm bringing to you tonight. It was brought to our attention in March at a steering committee meeting, and we think that it's important in order for that property to ever be developed. The rezoning would need to occur, and we should go ahead and have that in place now so that as we have an opportunity to potentially work on that property in the future, we'll have already moved past one hurdle, which is the rezoning.
John, can you just, don't keep us in suspense. AR means what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Agricultural, rural, residential, and M1 is light manufacturing industrial.
Thank you.
So.
It was a piece of national forest land when we acquired it, which made it automatically fall under agricultural.
Thank you.
Also, continue to work on our CDBG planning grant in the Wrightsville community. We've issued an advertisement for request for proposals for consulting services. Hope to bring a contract back to you for that in either July or August. In the morning, we have, after our EDC meeting, we're meeting with Draper Aiden, who is consulting, assisting us with our joint revenue sharing site selection matrix and engineering work to develop that site that hopefully the city and the county can work on together to prepare for economic development. I've shared recently with you a press release. Alleghany Highlands received the EPA Brownfield grant, about $600,000 to help redevelop, revitalize, repurpose some of our old industrial sites and commercial buildings in the community. As we've mentioned before by email, please plan on May 8th and May 15th for budget work session dates, 6 p.m. tonight. You'll adjourn this meeting to your first budget work session, May the 8th. We'll hold those in conference room A, and if additional work sessions are needed after the first two, we'll schedule those accordingly. I'd like to thank the budget committee, Mr. Griffith and Mr. Nicely. Ms. Adcock has done a wonderful job coming in and preparing her first budget for us to consider, and then also constitutional officers, Sheriff Hall and his staff, Crystal and Dawn Riddle from DSS, all coming together and meeting with us on a couple of different occasions, sharing ideas and trying to work through the budget together. to identify areas, recognizing, obviously when you get your requests in, they're much greater than your available revenues on where are appropriate places that we can work together to find some savings. So I think the budget process this year has gone smoothly to date. It'll be challenging. We're going to propose to you some new fees to consider. We're trying to avoid having a real estate tax increase. One of the things that if you think in terms of the real estate rate, when you have 1 penny of your real estate rate generates $98,000, we do something very unusual in Alleghany County in providing curbside pickup of trash. Trash collection at the curb included in your real estate rate, use of a transfer station included in your real estate rate. That's equivalent to approximately 20 cents on your real estate rate. It's about a $2 million operating expense to provide the trash collection. So we're going to propose not closing that entire gap, but generating some money from some type of fee structure associated with solid waste to free up some of your real estate tax dollars to be applied to public safety, your school resource officers, and also the jail and DSS budgets. We've talked about those in the past, primarily the CSA program. We haven't done a very good job of keeping up with the growth in expenditures in those budgets. So CSA in jail primarily this year, it's time to pay the piper, for lack of a better term, because we have not kept up with the expenditure growth on those line items. We'll come back to you this year and ask for some additional money to cover some of the costs in those programs. Those come out of your fund balance at this time of year if you don't build in enough revenue at the beginning of the year to cover those program costs. So know that at our first budget work session, we'll have a conversation around some of those fee proposals. That's new. It's not something that Alleghany County has done before, but we think we need to look at other opportunities to generate some revenue to avoid having the tax increase growth. We'll tell you there was a newspaper article and an interesting conversation that Ms. Vanderstall and I had about opportunity zones, and I can't recall the other zone that the state created, but recently the governor recommended several opportunity zones to be approved for federal consideration, and one of those was in Alleghany County, and it's basically the southern side of the interstate here from just west of Clifton Forge to Covington. We don't understand exactly all the ins and outs of the opportunity zone at this point in time. It's a new program that's been implemented as part of the recent legislation that was introduced at the federal level. The decision on whether or not the government has an opportunity to nominate a number of opportunity zones, the federal government will then take those and make a final determination. It's an additional incentive package that you can offer for private investment in those areas, hopefully to help the economy grow. And then just a last note, we've been working on a joint comprehensive plan with the city of Covington to have a community outreach offering from noon to 6 p.m. Next Tuesday, May the 8th in City Council chambers. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
What time is that?
From noon, it's open from noon to 6 p.m. So it'll be people can come in and out. There's no formal presentation.
Still make it here for the budget.
Yes, sir.
Is that your report, John?
Yes, sir.